Simplify square root of 44a cubed. 44a cubed. 44 is 4 perfect squared times 11. A cube is a squared perfect squared times a. Square root of 4a squared times square root of 11a will be 2a square root of 11a. 9x squared y cubed. 9 is a perfect square, x squared is a perfect square, and y squared is a perfect square. We're left with y. The square root of 9x squared y squared is equal to 3xy. The answer is 3xy times square root of y. 12. 4 is a perfect square multiplied by 3. X to the 8th is a perfect square multiplied by x, and y to the 4th is a perfect square. Square root of 4x to the 8th y to the 4th will be 2x to the 4th y squared multiplied by square root of 3x. 300x to the 8th t. 100 is a perfect square multiplied by 3. X to the 8th is even, it's a perfect square. And t is not a perfect square. So square root of 100x to the 8th will be 10x to the 8 divided by 2, which is 4. Multiplied by square root of 3t. 63, 9 is a perfect square multiplied by 7. X to the 6 is a perfect square, and y to the 2nd is a perfect square, even exponent. The square root of 9x6y squared is 3x to the 3rd y times square root of 7. 98, 49 is a perfect square multiplied by 2. A to the 4th is a perfect square. B to the 16 is a perfect square multiplied by b, and c to the 2nd is a perfect square. And the answer is 7, a to the 2nd, b to the 8th, c multiplied by square root of 2b. Square root of 5 times square root of 5 is equal to square root of 25, which is 5. For 2, we're going to put everything together and then simplify. 5 times 2, 10 times 9, 90. A squared times a squared, a fourth. B times b to the 3rd, b to the 4th, times b to the 7th, b to the 11th. Now we're going to separate the perfect square from the irrational. 90 is 9 times 10. 9 is a perfect square. A to the 4th is perfect. B to the 11 is b to the 10, which is perfect, times b. Square root of 9a 4th b 10th is equal to 3a to the 2nd b to the 5th. The answer is 3a squared b 5th times square root of 10b. For number 3, we're going to put everything together, and it's going to be 2 times 6, which is 12, and x to the 2nd times x to the 4th, which is x to the 6th. 12 is 4 times 3, and x to the 6 is perfect. So we're going to have square root of 4x to the 6 times square root of 3. Square root of 4x to the 6 is equal to 2x cubed multiplied by square root of 3. We put everything together. 72 divided by 8 is 9. X to the 14th over x to the 9th, x to the 5th. 9 x to the 4th is perfect. We're left with x as a factor. Square root of 9x to the 4th is equal to 3x squared. The answer is 3x squared times square root of x. We'll put everything together. 8 times 2 is 16. X times x to the 6, x to the 7. Y to the 5th times y, y to the 6. 16 is perfect. X to the 6 is perfect. We're left with x. And y to the 6 is perfect. Even exponent. Square root of 16x6 y6 is 4x cubed y cubed times square root of x. Multiply and simplify. Square root of 3 times square root of 2 is square root of 3 times 2, which is 6. Square root of 10 times square root of 2 is square root of 20. And 20 is 4 times 5. 4 is perfect and 5 is not. Square root of 4 is 2. The answer is 2 square root of 5. For number 3, we're going to put everything together and then separate the irrational from the perfect square. 3x to the 5th, y to the 8th, 5 plus 3. We create a space, a radical for the perfect square and a radical for the irrational. 3 is not perfect. X to the 5th is x to the 4th perfect times x, and y to the 8th is a perfect square. Square root of x to the 4th y to the 8th is x squared y to the 4th, and we multiply it by square root of 3x. Square root of 5 times square root of 10 is square root of 50, and 50 is 25 times 2. Square root of 25, the perfect square, is 5, and we multiply it by square root of 2. If we put everything together, we get square root of x to the 4th, x times x cubed, times y to the 4th, which is a perfect square, and the answer is x squared, y squared. We're going to put everything together. 8 times 5 is 40. X squared times x to the 3rd is x to the 5th. Y times y to the 2nd is y cubed. Consider 40. 4 is perfect. Multiplied by 10. Consider x to the 5th. X to the 4th is perfect. We multiply it by x. Y cubed. Y to the 2nd is perfect. We multiply it by y. The answer is 2x squared y multiplied by square root of 10xy.